Tom Thibodeau has challenged the New York Knicks to be better, and we have to talk about this. The preseason with New York was not great. They went 1-3, and Tibbs wants them to be better, and he wants them to work harder. So welcome back to Knicks Digest, guys. My name is Chris, and we're going to jump right into it as we always do. Tom Thibodeau wants the New York Knicks to be working harder. He wants them to be playing better. The New York Knicks are too good of a team to be going 1-3 in the preseason, and Tibbs has challenged them, according to Jalen, Brunson, and Julius Randle themselves, because Tibbs isn't happy with this. He's like most Knicks fans right now. I think we all thought the Knicks would be better in the preseason. Sure, we beat the Celtics when they didn't have their top six, but that was it, and we had our top players. We lost to the Celtics when we didn't have most of our best players. We lost to Minnesota, and we lost to Washington. Now, not to hate on Minnesota and Washington, especially Washington, but these are teams that you have to beat, especially the Wizards, but you want to beat Minnesota too. Minnesota is not the Knicks. They're not going to the second round like the Knicks did last year. That would be behind Anthony Edwards, and for the Timberwolves to somehow figure out a way to be winning when playing 4-on-5 on each end, because Cat can't defend and Gobert can hardly play offense. And especially because he clogs up the paint for Anthony Edwards. But that is what it is. We're not talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a New York Knicks channel. Look at the jerseys behind me. Those are Knicks jerseys. There's Knicks jerseys in other angles too that you can't even see. But the deal is, Tibbs is not thrilled. And this is what Tibbs had to say. That's the danger. That's the danger in it. I think if you get into the mindset that I'm going to pace myself through this, you're making a huge mistake. We open with Boston a week from Wednesday night. I already saw the intensity level that's going to be required. We've got to put as much as we can into it. Now, the danger that he is talking about is complacency. He does not want the Knicks to not be at their best, to not be working at their hardest. The Knicks just came off the best season that they have had in 10 years. Maybe longer, depending on what you want to say is better between the 2012-13 Carmelo Knicks or the 22-23 Jalen, Brunson, Julius Randle Knicks. It's the fans' choice. Each series ended in the second round in a 6-game series. You can pick which one was the better season. For me, not being like 12 years old or something when I saw the Melo one, this was the best season I ever saw of my life as a Knicks fan, honestly. I'm 22 years old. This is the best it's ever gotten. And I think the Knicks are all looking at it. Some of them have been there a while. Mitchell Robinson has been there back when the Knicks were still trash. And then that was the same. R.J. Barrett was on a few bad Knicks teams. Julius Randle was on 2 bad Knicks teams. Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, they haven't been on bad Knicks teams. So either way, you're either going to look at it as, okay, well, we've been on bad teams before, now we're good. Maybe we'll take it a little easy in the preseason. Or you're Brunson and Hart, you're like, we haven't been bad with the Knicks. When we're here, they're good. So we're fine. And clearly that was not the case, because the Knicks dropped preseason games they should not have been losing. The defense was poor. They let the Wizards hit 23s the other night. It was just not what you wanted to see from the New York Knicks. A team that is supposed to be a defensive team. But the three-point defense has always been a problem with the Knicks. Maybe it's a Tom Thibodeau thing. Maybe it's a Knicks thing. Tibbs' teams consistently gives up threes, though, so you see where my vote is. But the New York Knicks need to be better defensively. And that's what Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle had to say also, if you're not going to take my word for it. This is a quote from Jalen Brunson. He said, "There is no level of concern, but I think for us, are we where we want to be right now? No. So we expected to be at a better place than we are. Our coach thought that too. He's sending us a message that he wants us to be better, and we're going to respond to that. We're expected to be at a certain place at this time, and our coach is challenging us to be better than we are right now." And then it talks about how Jordan Poole absolutely just torched the Knicks. So look, yes, the Knicks have been bad in the preseason, and Tibbs is challenging them. I think that is good. The Knicks are a team that feed off adversity. They feed off being counted out. I keep saying this in recent videos because the Knicks have been bad probably in this preseason. I'm also not worried about the preseason, but I could see why we are. When you're giving up 136 points to the Washington Wizards, who are projected to be at the bottom of the NBA this year, that's a problem. That is a problem. The Knicks cannot be giving up 136 points to the Washington Wizards when they don't have Kyle Kuzma playing. It was just not a good look. The defense looked bad. There was just issues. And maybe it's complacency. Maybe it's preseason. Maybe it's Julius Randle coming back from that injury and the Knicks coming off such a great season, whereas Brunson said the vibes were immaculate, that maybe the Knicks are just being a little complacent right here, and once the regular season kicks into gear, so will the Knicks. But the fact that we don't know that the Knicks are going to compete at the level they did last year, that we don't know they're going to give the same grit or effort by now at this time last year, that's concerning because last year the Knicks were always giving it their all. They were down nearly 20 points against the Grizzlies on opening night. They came back and took that game to overtime. It was a really good performance of the Knicks showing that they never would give up. Also, we saw Tibbs draw up a three-point play for Cameron Reddish. What a weird time a year ago was, right? Very strange. Things are a lot different now. I don't think any of us expected that to turn into what last season turned into, but it was an awesome season. And I do not want the Knicks to start slow again. They started sort of slow, not by Knicks standards. By Knicks standards, starting slow is when you have 5 wins by January over our past 10 years. But not to be a negative Nancy. I'm not going to do that to you guys. You guys don't deserve that. We hear all that Knicks hate enough from a lot of people. Like, some people. Stephen A. Excuse me. But yes, guys, for real, the New York Knicks need to be better. They need to work harder. They are a team that thrives off effort. That is what all Tom Thibodeau teams drive off of. Tom Thibodeau is going to coach you only at his best if you are giving your 110%. If you're diving for those loose balls, if 50-50 balls are going to be 75-25 balls because you're going to dive out of bounds for a basketball. We already saw Josh Hart do that in the preseason. We saw Dante DiVincenzo flying around trying to grab the balls. We've seen it from the Nova guys. We need this to kick in for the whole team. We need them to give 100% effort, or the New York Knicks are going to be in some trouble. They are a team that is best when they are outworking the other teams. Obviously, that could be said for every sports team in every league ever, but the New York Knicks have that outwork 'em mindset, and they absolutely need to stick to it. Stick to your roots. Stick to how Tibbs is going to make you great. I'm not the biggest Tom Thibodeau supporter. I also am not going to rush to say fire the guy. I don't think they should. He's been the best coach they've had in a very long time. But something that is not going to work is a team that is not trying. That will not work for Thibodeau. He's going to give you hell for it. And if you don't respond, you're just going to be a bad team and the vibes are going to be horrific. So the Knicks need to bounce back. They need to respond. This game against the Celtics is very important. It's not a must win. It's the first game of an 82-game season. The season's so long, there's so many months, and winning solves everything, that things will be fine if the Knicks lose this game. But you need to show that you can hang with the top tiers in the Eastern Conference, which is the Bucks and the Celtics. That's what Reggie Miller was just saying about the Knicks in another video where we talked about Miller saying the Knicks essentially need to believe that they're the third best team in the Eastern Conference. They absolutely do. They need to believe that if anyone is going to beat the Boston Celtics ever, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs, and this is an Eastern Conference team we're talking about, if it's not the Milwaukee Bucks, even counting the Milwaukee Bucks, so because you're not going to have that mindset if you're playing, you have to believe if anyone's beating the Boston Celtics, it's going to be the New York Knicks. It's going to be that Boston Knicks rivalry. You're going to use that New York grit and determination and the rivalry we have with the sports city of Boston and go out there and punch them in the mouth and not have them get a chance to get set and get into their flow. Because that is how you stop a team that's that great, is you throw them off their rhythm. And that is what the New York Knicks need to be doing to a team like the Boston Celtics when next season starts next week. And guys, when next week begins and the next season starts, the videos are going to be coming like crazy. We are on that grind, multiple videos a day, a post game for all games, every game. I don't care if it's a 10 p.m. game that it starts at. If we're on the West Coast, I'm going to be doing a video at 2 in the morning. Dario might be, Troy might be. I haven't talked to them yet, but I know they're going to want to do it because nothing is more fun than making post games for the Knicks, and you guys do not want to miss them. So make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It is so important to the channel's growth. And we are on that road. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. It's only going up from here. Knicks Digest to the moon, everybody. And just remember when you're thinking about this Knicks season, it is an outwork 'em mentality. That is the number one thing for the Knicks, is go out there and throw the best teams off their rhythm and show you can hang with them. The Knicks have not shown that yet, and they have to. And now the other remember. You can see the jerseys. You know where I'm going with this. Have a great day, guys. And remember, go Knicks.